Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Science of God, Chapter 2, Hiranyakashipu, King of the Demons. Text number 24. Evam Gunay Ramyamane Evam Gunay Ramyamane Evam Gunay Ramyamane Manasi Avikalaha Kuman Manasya Vikala Kuman Yati Tat Samyatam Bhadre Yati Tat Samyatam Bhadre Yati Tat Samyatam Bhadre He Halingo Lingavan Iva Kyalingo Lingavan Evam Gunay Ramyamane Manasya Vikala Kuman Yati Tat Samyatam Bhadre Translation and purport by Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhu. Jai Shri Prabhu. Translation. In the same way, O my gentle mother, when the mind is agitated by the movements of the modes of material nature, the living entity, although freed from all the different phases of the subtle and gross bodies, thinks that he is changed from one condition to another. Please repeat this translation. In the same way, O my gentle mother, when the mind is agitated, by the movements of the modes of material nature, the living entity, although freed from all the different phases of the subtle and gross bodies, thinks that he has changed from one condition to another. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 84th chapter, 13th verse. Yasyatma buddhi gunapetri dhanike swadhi kalatrādishu bhauma ijjati yat tirtha buddhis sarilena karyachit janishva vidneshu sa eva gokharaha. A human being who identifies the body made of three elements as the self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsman, who considers the land of his birth worshipable, and who goes to a place of pilgrimage simply to bathe rather than to meet men of transcendental knowledge there, is to be considered like a cow or an ass. Very strong verse in the Bhagavatam. Every time Prabhupada says people in the bodily conception are like animals, he is simply quoting this verse from the Bhagavatam. That's it. Prabhupada is not being harsh. He is being truthful. He is exactly quoting the Shastra. Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is very harsh. Shukadeva Goswami. Although Hiranyakashipu was a great demon, he was not as foolish as the population of modern world. Hiranyakashipu had clear knowledge of the spirit soul and the subtle and gross bodies. But now we are so degraded that everyone, including the exalted scientists, philosophers and other leaders, is under the bodily conception of life, which is condemned in the Shastras. Sa eva gokaraha. Such persons are nothing but cows and asses. Hiranyakashipu advised his family members that although the gross body of his brother Hiranyaksha was dead, and that they were agreed because of this, they should not lament for the great soul of Hiranyaksha, who had already attained his next destination. Atma, the spirit soul, is always unchanged. Avikalaha Uma. We are spirit souls, but when carried away by mental activities, manodharma, we suffer from so-called material conditions of life. This generally happens to non-devotees. Hara bhaktasya kuto mahadguna. Non-devotees may possess exalted material qualities, but because they are foolish, they have no good qualifications. The designations of the conditioned soul in the material world are decorations of the dead body. The conditioned soul has no information on the spirit and its exalted existence beyond the effects of the material condition. Thus ends the Bhakti-Vedanta purport. Om Jnana-Virantasya Jnana-Vinashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu-Padaya Krishna-Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hiranyakashipu was speaking to his mother, his sister-in-law, and the nephews, who are all agreed because Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Brahma, Vishnu. Hiranyakashipu is pacifying them by giving them spiritual understanding. The scriptures say that ultimately a person can be pacified only by the spiritual knowledge. There is no other way. Whenever somebody is angry, especially when there is a calamity, death is something which nobody wants, but it is imposed by material nature. We may ascribe some cause for death, but actually death is not caused by some disease, by calamity, by somebody killing. No, that is not the cause of death. The cause of death is that the living entity, the spirit soul, the real person, has to quit that particular body and move on either into another body or go to the spiritual world. So the spirit soul is on a journey through this life. This understanding is very, very, very important. Just like you enter one car, you sit in the car and you travel from your starting point to your destination. And when the destination comes, you get down from the car. You're not thinking, oh, how can I do this car? How can I get out of this car? You don't think like that. Why? Because you're very clear, you have entered the car for a journey. This understanding is the basis of your being able to get down from the car. Similarly, if you understand, I am on a journey and this body is a vehicle, and when the destination comes, or not having a destination, the car is no longer going to transport you. And you get down and get into another car. The car breaks down, what do you do? The car won't move forward. And you get into another car. So similarly, we have to understand that before it is time to get down from this car, before the car breaks down, this vehicle called the body, we should be ready to actually get down from the car. And that preparation is possible while we are inside this car. Preparation is possible. And we can even reach our destination before it is time to get down from the car. It's like a person who's traveling in a car. It is not that he is just engrossed with the comforts in the car. He is primarily thinking more than the comforts of the car. Where am I going? What is my destination? As soon as this concept of vehicle comes, vehicle means it is meant to transport you to a particular destination. That's the meaning of vehicle. So this body in the Kathopanishad is compared to a chariot. So when you get into a chariot or a vehicle or a car, you always consider, what is my destination? You always consider your destination. Similarly, in this body, you have to think, what is my destination? So foolish people think there is no destination. Why? They think everything is finished. When death comes, everything is finished. But the scriptures inform us differently. Scriptures inform us that at death, you, the real person inside the body, you don't die. But you have to get out of this body. You'll be forced to get out of the body, whether you are prepared or not prepared, whether you are willing to go out or not willing to go out. Whether you like it or don't like it, you have to get out. And if you can prepare yourself to leave the body, to quit the body and death, that preparation is possible, especially for a human being, it's possible. And also, you can reach a particular destination. You can reach a particular destination by following a particular process while in this body. Bhagavad Gita very nicely explains this. Yanti deva vrata devan, pitrin yanti pitruvrataha, bhutan yanti bhutejya, yanti madhyajino vimam. Fix your destination. Where do you want to go? You want to go to the heavenly planets? There is a process. Vrata devan, worship the demigods. The presiding deity of the particular planet to worship, to go to the particular planet. Pitranyanti Pitruvrataha, you want to go to Pitruloka, worship the Pitrudevatas. Bhutani Anti Bhuteja, if you worship the particular controllers of the living entities, Bhuta, Bhutanatha is Shiva. So if you want to reach the planet of the ghosts, there is a planet of the ghosts, then their master, Bhutanatha, is Shiva, to worship Shiva. And if you worship Krishna, you go to Krishna's planet. Yanti Madhya Shimotimam. So you can fix your destination and accordingly you can follow a certain process to reach that destination. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna says, what is the difference between reaching Krishna's kingdom and going to any other place? Unless you go to his kingdom, then you don't take birth again in this material world. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalem shashvatam nafnuvanti. As you come to me, then you don't take birth in this material world, which is a place filled with miseries, and it is always temporary. What about the other places? All other places are temporary places. Brahma bhuvana loka punaravartino mamupete kaunteya punarjanma. So this difference always exists. Krishna's kingdom and any other place, there is a difference. Krishna's kingdom, there is no punarjanma if you reach Krishna's kingdom. So fix your destination. If you are wise, if you are intelligent, then you will fix your destination as Krishna's place, no other place. Because nobody wants to suffer this punarjanma. So fix your destination and follow the process. What is the process? You cannot reach Krishna's kingdom by any other process than worshiping Krishna, other than devotional service to Krishna. So you simply have to adopt the process of devotional service to Krishna. Very simple. But then people are, as Prabhu says in this purport, dull. They don't even know that they are different from the body. So, according to Bhagavatam, those who do not know that they are different from the body, their intelligence is on the level of the animals. Animals also have intelligence. But animal intelligence only works for taking care of the bodily necessities. That's all. Whereas human intelligence means there is facility for utilizing the intelligence for a higher purpose. That is human intelligence. So human intelligence can be utilized for understanding what is the best goal of life, what is the best destination that I should be actually progressing towards, going towards. That this body is simply a vehicle. It should be taken care only in as far as it is useful for traveling to the destination. Only that much you should take care, not more. Not less either. It is serving a purpose. It's like if you have a vehicle, a car, you take care of the car, but not more than what is required to travel. Neither you should ignore or neglect the car because it is useful for traveling. Similarly, this body also is a useful vehicle for traveling to the destination. So fix the destination, maintain the body for traveling to the destination, and make sure you are actually progressing towards that destination. That is very important. Without ensuring the progress towards the destination, it is useless. This body is useless, life is wasted, time is wasted, and you don't reach the destination. So then, when the time comes, person laments, becomes very afraid, very fearful, very confused, bewildered, does not know what's going to happen after death. So we should not be bewildered or confused or afraid of death. Dhirastatra namushyati. Krishna says, Dhira, the person who knows, the person who is prepared for death, according to the instructions in the Bhagavad Gita, such a person is not bewildered at the time of death. So, Hiranyakashipu's instructions to his mother, it is referring to in the same way, evam, refers to the previous verse. The previous verse he had given two examples. How the trees on the bank of the river are not moving, but because the water is moving, the trees appear to be moving. Similarly, even though in this body, the spirit soul is fixed up in its original position, still the spirit soul appears to be moving with the movement of the body. Or the spirit soul appears to be changing with the changes of the body. But actually the spirit soul is not changing, it's only the body which is changing. So that's what Hiranyakashipu is telling. The living entity, although freed from the different phases of the subtle and gross bodies, we are always free from this body. We are always free from this body. We are different from the body. We are always free. But still, we think that when the body is changing, I have also changed from one condition to another. It's like the body becomes old, I think I have become old. When the mind is disturbed condition, I think I am in a disturbed condition. When there is anxiety in the mind, I think I am actually having anxiety. But the fact is that you don't change your condition when the condition of the gross or subtle body changes. Gross body change is not difficult for devotees to understand. Non-devotees cannot even understand this gross body is changing. But for devotees, it is difficult to understand I am different from the subtle body. Subtle body is difficult to separate. The mind, the intelligence, and the false ego. The subtle body is one, but it functions in 3 ways, and therefore it may sometimes seem like the mind is different or separate, intelligence is separate, and ahankara is separate. But actually they are not separate. One subtle body is functioning or doing 3 functions. Just like this body also, even though there are different parts of the body, but still the body functions as one complete individual entity. Correct? There is a coordinated movement of the different parts of this body. There is a central controlling part, the brain, coordinating all the movements of the hands and the legs externally. And internally, the movement of food, the movement of pranavayu, the movement of air, the movement of blood, everything is coordinated. Similarly, the subtle body also, the actions of the mind, intelligence and ego is coordinated. It is coordinated. It is not three separate entities. It is coordinated as one subtle body. Actually, it is not even, the subtle body is not separate again. The gross and subtle body together, everything is coordinated. Just like when you see some object, in the mind, you get the thought process going. What is this, or who is this person? Then memory functions, intelligence functions says, oh, this person is so and so, I have seen him earlier. Or the ego, who are you? Supposing somebody stops you at some entrance, gate. You are confidently walking, somebody stops you. Your ego is hurt. What is this? That's, who am I? And then you give your identity. I am so and so. Okay, you stop me. So the ego is also working. The subtle body is working in terms of the function of the ego as identity, false identity, wrong identity, as one entity. But the real you, the spirit soul, you are separate, you are different from this gross and subtle body, but you are unable to understand this, realize this, you are unable to experience this. So as I said, gross body is not difficult for devotees. With little chanting of Hare Krishna, very easily you separate yourself from your gross body. Very easily. But the subtle body is the difficult thing to separate. So how to separate the subtle body? The same chanting of Hare Krishna will help you separate the subtle body also. It's just that you have to apply the chanting process little more diligently, carefully, you have to do this chanting. Like when you are chanting Hare Krishna, you should try to observe the actions of the subtle body, mind, intelligence and ego. These three are very much, three means there is only one body, the three functions of this subtle body is very much active, especially when you are chanting Hare Krishna. If not at other times. Very active. It's always active, but you can notice how active the mind, intelligence and ego, how active they are. Just like you become engrossed in thinking of something else other than chanting itself. Right? The thought process starts. Button is pressed, you start chanting Hare Krishna, immediately your button is pressed inside. What is that? Immediately the mind becomes active. Start planning or thinking or remembering something. And also the ego, the mind, intelligence, all of them constituting the subtle body, they all become active. So try to observe this activity, which is also not very difficult. You can observe this. But remember that you should not yourself participate in that action of the subtle body, in the activity of subtle body. You should step back and try to hear the sound vibration produced by your conscious chanting. So what should you do? Hare Krishna. You should chant consciously, produce the sound by properly vibrating the tongue. Even though it's very easy, you've done many times, you can easily do it. But try to do it consciously. That means give attention to this chanting. Something which you don't do, generally don't do. What you know, what you have done thousands and thousands of times, you don't pay attention to that. But instead, when chanting Hare Krishna, even though you have chanted many times and you can chant even without giving attention, you still give attention and say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Give attention and chant. Why? Because by giving attention to this chanting, you're also trying to give attention to the hearing. Only when you consciously chant, then you can consider consciously hearing. If you don't consciously chant, you don't consciously hear. You don't consciously hear. Because your subtle body is active, your attention will be towards your subtle body. Or your attention will be going towards something external happening. Your attention will not be on the sound of Hare Krishna. So, if you practice giving attention to this vibrating the tongue and hearing the sound, then you can separate yourself from the subtle body also. When you are able to consciously chant and hear, and of course there's one more activity, you have to also count. So consciously count also, to properly count. So consciously chant, hear and count. Because when you have completed one complete mantra, you should move the beat properly, one beat to the next. You must do that consciously. You see, this conscious activity of chanting, hearing, counting, chanting, hearing, counting, and do this again and again and again. Now, to do this again and again is a difficult problem. Cannot do this again and again. Attention will go away somewhere else. But then you should realize that this sound, Hare Krishna, this Hare Krishna mantra, is actually Krishna himself. Therefore, I have to very carefully, consciously chant, hear and count. And how long I should do this? Until the time I am able to see Krishna face to face as a real person by chanting or by hearing or by counting. Till then, I should understand that I am not properly chanting, I am not properly hearing, I am not properly counting, I am not applying the process properly. My attention is somewhere else. Because Krishna has come in the form of His holy name. Very mercifully He has come in the form of Hare Krishna mantra. But I am thinking Krishna is something else and this mantra is something else. Or sometimes we even think, through chanting the mantra, somebody else I am going to see. We separate Krishna from the mantra. We separate Krishna from this process of chanting and hearing and counting. No, Krishna is present in the form of this mantra itself. Krishna is coming when you vibrate your tongue. Krishna is dancing on your tongue. I am not able to see, I am not able to perceive. Till you are able to perceive, nicely do this chanting, hearing and counting. So what is happening when you are chanting, hearing and counting nicely? all the misconceptions about what is Krishna, who you are, or what is your relationship, everything is going away. All misconceptions are going away. The cleansing is happening. Cheto darpana marjanam. What is that marjanam? What is the cleansing? That cleansing of misconceptions because of which you are thinking Krishna is something else other than what he actually is. The Mayavadis, they try to realize the absolute truth by negating all what the absolute truth is not. That is required because you should not mistakenly think Krishna is some material personality, something material. No. So then they deny, they negate all material things and material objects, material persons, everything. So that is very easily done when you chant and cleanse your heart. And here, this is something very, very special about chanting. That your misconceptions you have to clear. You don't have to clear somebody else's misconceptions. If you want to see Krishna, right? You have to clear your misconception to Krishna. So when you chant Hare Krishna, you are clearing your misconception. That's enough. Whereas Mayavadis, what are they doing? They are clearing all misconceptions about God, taking the sum total of all misconceptions, all material ideas. See, their process is such a donkey work. It is donkey work. Why you have to clear somebody else's misconceptions? No need. You clear just your misconceptions. That's why you have to chant. Somebody else's chanting is not going to work because somebody else's chanting will not clear your misconceptions. So you have to chant. And as the misconceptions are going away, your attention towards Krishna as the holy name will become more and more fixed up as the cleansing happens. It will become nicely fixed up. But you have to apply the process. You have to very seriously, very nicely, very consciously, very carefully, you have to do this. Don't be in a hurry to somehow finish chanting. You have to complete. That feeling that I have complete is good as a responsible person, practitioner of Bhakti Yoga. But not do it somehow or the other. That somehow or the other is okay for a beginner. But somebody who has been practicing chanting for few years, then don't simply somehow or other finish chanting. Don't do it. Spend some time if required, more time than what you usually spend, and try to consciously chant and hear and count and separate your body, subtle body also, from yourself. That separation happens when you detect that your attention is different from your mind, your intelligence, your ego, your senses, your body, the outside world, everything. Your attention is separate from all that. So you choose where to give attention, where to direct your attention. You have to choose. By choosing, you are separating yourself. If you don't choose, then the same misidentification, I am the subtle body. Same misidentification, I am subtle body. Like I am the mind, or I am intelligence, or I am ego. That continues even while chanting Hare Krishna. But that should not continue. That at least at the time of chanting, separate yourself from your subtle body, from your gross body and from your subtle body. That's why your attention should not be even on the gross body. Somebody is chanting, waiting for a phone call. So you think he can have attention on the Hare Krishna mantra? No, not possible. Somebody is chanting, waiting for the milk to boil. Can they have attention on the Hare Krishna mantra? Not possible. So this type of chanting is not going to actually help you separate yourself. Neither you are going to be attentive to the form in which Krishna is actually appearing as the holy name. See, what are we trying to do? We are trying to realize Krishna in his specific form as the holy name. That is Krishna's mercy. He has come as the holy name. He is very mercifully come. So easily accessible, so easily approachable. Simply vibrate Hare Krishna, Krishna is there. So why are you not receiving Krishna or perceiving Krishna in that way? Because so many misconceptions. How can God be present in the form of this sound, which is ordinary, seems like ordinary sound, simply vibrating the tongue? No. Krishna is supremely powerful. Therefore, he can come in any form he likes. He comes in any form he likes. But the special thing about Hare Krishna mantra is Krishna is coming in his original form when you chant Hare Krishna. This is also very, very special. He is not simply coming in some form, he is coming in his original form. When somebody tries to understand God's power by meditating on the different vibhuti, yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam shrimadurjitamaya bhava. Whatever splendor you see in this world is actually Krishna only. But in that splendorous manifestation, Krishna is not in his original form. Somebody sees a beautiful scenery in the sky, in the horizon. That beauty can be appreciated as Krishna, but not Krishna's original beauty. That is not Krishna's original beauty. So, the bhakti process is particularly aiming at contacting the original form of Krishna, not as representation, original form. So that original form of Krishna is present when you say Hare Krishna. Why not any other mantra? So many mantras. Krishna is represented by all the Vedic mantras. All the Vedic mantras are representations of Krishna only. But the original form of Krishna is directly present when you chant Hare Krishna. Therefore, we say, please chant Hare Krishna. That Hare Krishna you have to be attentive. And you will separate your attention from your mind, from your intelligence, from your ego, from your senses, from your body, from external things, everything will separate out of your attention. And carefully direct the attention to the vibration, the tongue, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Consciously vibrate. Consciously say that. So that what will happen, you will not simply swallow some words. Sometimes when you are not consciously chanting, you will not exactly say the words. Somebody else can point out that, you may not be able to point out. So what you can do, you can record your chanting and then hear carefully how you are chanting. When you know your attention is not there on the chanting itself. Hearing, you also should be conscious how many times you are hearing each word. Hare Krishna Rama. Be conscious of each word. In every mantra, there are 16 words. 4 Krishnas, 4 Ramas, 8 Hares. You should catch each word. Catch each word attentively and count very carefully. After 16 words have been chanted and heard, then move your bead. But what is happening because of habit? Habit is something I have done many times. I can do it even without paying attention. Little attention will be there. It's not that there is no attention, but it is minimal attention. And that minimal attention is enough to move, to chant, to hear. So, the rest of the attention, balanced attention is going towards something else, something more important, or something else that is waiting to be done only at the time of chanting. So that is not proper chanting. So if you chant properly, then you can separate the subtle body also. So whatever he is telling here, what was being told here, the living entity thinking that he is also changing from one condition to another, when actually only the gross and subtle bodies are changing. So this very easily you can realize if you chant properly Hare Krishna. Very easily you can realize. So practice this chanting very nicely. Consciously chant, consciously hear, consciously count. And don't let your attention be diverted to something else or mantra. And very easily you can separate yourself from all these gross